When I was in boarding school, we had a house mother named Miss Mallon. She was so fanatically religious, she would tell children that their parents would go to hell. Because of this and other things, she was fired. All the girls in my dorm cried and carried on when they heard the news. I was supposed to feel a sense of great loss and sadness. Actually, I felt great joy and liberation, but I pretended to be as unhappy as everyone else. By secretly looking up at a bright light, I was able to make tears and some appropriate sobbing noises. Later on, when I was alone in the playground, I ran around and jumped for joy.
And a balance of emotions is important to a well-rounded personality.
Emotions are profoundly social in nature. Many believe that emotions are deeply personal, individual, and isolated experiences. And to some extent, this is almost certainly true. But emotions always have a social element. They are socially patterned and structurally reinforced. This film will explore the social nature of emotion and feeling. Drawing on Arlie Hochschild's 1979 The Managed Heart, it will focus on emotions as a social product in the context of relationships, family life, and work. Feeling rules are standards used in emotional interaction to determine what is rightly owed and owing in the currency of feeling. They govern some of the most intimate parts of our lives. We notice them in the voice in our head that says, "I shouldn't feel this way," and in the questions of others when they ask, "Why are you upset? Wasn't this what you wanted?" Or in the blunt reminders of, "You should be ashamed of yourself." When we fail to feel what is expected, others cajole, tease, or scold us back into place. Psychiatrists diagnose inappropriate affect, assuming that feelings can be right or wrong. Arlie Hochschild describes two strategies we use to conform to feeling rules: surface acting and deep acting. Surface acting is the outward mask. It is the forced smile, the polite nod, the tone of our voice. We change the expression, but not the feeling. For greater commitment, we use deep acting. We work to actually produce the feeling the situation demands. We reframe a rude customer as a frightened child, drawing on memory to summon real warmth, empathy, and feeling. We force ourselves to feel the correct emotion in an attempt to respond authentically.
I don't want any more emotional upsets if I can help it.
Sounds good. Sounds as if you're learning to keep your emotions in balance.
Emotions in balance. That's it. Thanks, Mr. Edmonds.
Barbara did her best to acquire a genuine interest in people, for she found that smiles are effective only when they're genuine.
Each of these strategies raise questions about authenticity. Is the feeling real if it has been deliberately produced? Does it matter if others accept it as genuine? We see this struggle most clearly in rituals. At weddings, the bride is supposed to feel happy, even radiant. Anxiety is permitted, despair is not. At funerals, grief is prescribed. Too little is cold, but too much is excessive. Grief or relief at the wrong time marks a violation. Families carry their own emotional obligations. A son may feel anger at a disciplinary father, but knows he is supposed to love him. A daughter feels fury at her mother, yet believes she should feel pity instead. In marriage, a wife may wish to love her husband because it fits the ideal, even when the feeling itself is absent. At work, rules are spelled out explicitly. In Hochschild's research, flight attendants are trained to reframe emotions. A drunk passenger is just like a child. A rude customer is afraid of flying. They are told to treat the cabin as their living room, passengers as guests. Anger must not be shown. By contrast, bill collectors are trained to produce alarm, suspicion, even hostility. And at a restaurant, staff were told to hide their troubles behind a smile to avoid frustrated food. Some workers resist by going into robot, refusing deep acting and falling back on inauthentic surface gestures. The list of occupations that demand emotional labour is endless. Emotional labour has become a major part of the economy. The result is the commercialization of feeling. Emotions have become a commodity that can be bought and sold. And much like physical labour, emotional labour can leave us exhausted and alienated from what is normally thought of as fundamentally personal and individual aspects of ourselves. Managing feeling is an art fundamental to civilized life. In both our personal lives and our work, we bow to each other not only from the waist, but from the heart. But awareness of these rules leaves a question. Are our feelings truly ours? Emotion and feeling are tightly woven into the fabric of social interaction. Where does the performance end and the person begin?